Why do so many people care about Notre Dame? Why do atheists care about Notre Dame? Why do people outside of France care about Notre Dame? And why should you care about Notre Dame? Because it's a monument of human achievement. Its construction began in 1163, so it's almost 1,000 years old. And it's a testament of human ingenuity. It managed to survive 2 world wars, and even worse, it managed to survive communists. When the French Revolution happened, and they were pushing this cult of reason, and they were against Catholicism, and they did a lot of damage to many historical monuments at the time, they refused to touch Notre Dame. Like, even those people that didn't believe in Christianity refused to touch Notre Dame. And for a while, Notre Dame actually became a warehouse. But no one tried to do anything to it. No one tried to damage it, because beyond the fact that it's a religious building, as I mentioned before, it's a monument of human achievement. The fact that people back then managed to construct something like this is incredibly impressive. And you have tourists from all over the world going to France, and one of the reasons they do that is to see Notre Dame. So there's no surprise that when it caught fire, you had people from all over the world donating money to the French government in order to have it rebuilt. Even Romanians and a lot of Romanian elites donated money to the displeasure of some of the Romanian more progressive voices, because they were, oh, who cares? We have poor people here, we have orphans here, why don't you give money to them? Why are you giving money to the French government? And the answer is that if it doesn't matter what we do in our life, if we can't have something built so that our children can see it, what's the point in living then? Is living just to exist, or do you not want to leave something behind? And what is more treasurable than a building that is so old and is so magnificent? So now all those people that donated are a little bit worried. Because you see, the idea was to rebuild Notre Dame the way as it was. Not change it, not do anything new to it. People wanted to preserve it. That's why people donated from all around the world. That's why people donated from France. But unfortunately, there's a lot of voices which are trying to change it. And they have different visions and different plans to make it better. But why make it better? Because making it better shows hubris. You're showing that the people in the past who had the vision and created a classic that attracted people from all over the world to see didn't do a proper job. So now we, the enlightened ones, know how to do a better job than them. And it's very unfortunate, because the whole point why people go to see the Notre Dame is to see what a building from that time period looked like. But no, apparently what they want to do is, according to a critic, to create a woke theme park with renovators adding a discovery trail and Christianity for dummies, exhibits critics have claimed. Under the new plans, confessional boxes, altars, and classical sculptures will be scrapped for trendy art murals with sound and lightning effects, creating quote-unquote emotional spaces. Now, I don't know about many people, but there's a lot of churches in Romania, and I'm pretty sure there's other places of worship in other religions which do not have sound and lightning effects and are capable managing of creating an emotional space. In fact, that is the beauty of old architecture, that you can go there and you can have that emotional space without the need for special effects. And then you also have the critics saying that it's going to have a discovery trail, which is going to lead visitors through various chapels with an emphasis on Africa and Asia. And scripture will be beamed onto the walls in various languages, including Mandarin. One of the sanctuaries will even be dedicated to the environment. Why don't they dedicate one to Pfizer? You know, like if you like it, put a Pfizer logo on it. I mean, hey, you know, it's current time, so might as well. Like this is something that I find it bewildering. Why would you create it into a theme park? Why not just leave it what it was? I mean, look, people aren't upset if you want to create something new. I mean, the Pope is planning to create this building which is going to have all three Abrahamic religions in it. So you're going to have a place of worship that's a temple for Jewish people to attend, and you're going to have a place of worship for Christians to attend, and a place of worship for Muslims to attend. And all of this is going to be in the same building. Fine. I'm not against that. You know, like what the Pope wants to do with his money, and if he wants to build a building like that, go for it. People aren't upset about that, but what people are upset is when you take something that is a classic, and it's one of the main attractions from France, because people want to go there and experience how it's like to see a Gothic building, and you're turning it into Disneyland. And I agree, it is Disneyland. Like, I don't need to go into a church to have a tour guide which shows me with little lights and arrows on what to see, and it's got like all these places. So I want to see a building from 1163 in France, and you're writing it in Chinese. It's like, what? Like, it really breaks the immersion. It really breaks the reason that I'm there. All of a sudden, I'm not in a building that's almost 1,000 years old. I'm into woke Disneyland. And I'm constantly reminded with the light shows and stuff. Maybe put a mural of Saint Greta while you're at it. You know, like, and again, the environment. I mean, I get it. You know, I get it. Yes, I got the environment. Yeah, I get the connection. Can you put a mural where we split the atom so we can have clean energy? Because God created atoms as well. Why not? Well, at this point, why not? You know, it's not surprising that people are having some buyer's remorse. People who donated to this project are feeling a little bit robbed. Because if they knew what you were going to do with the money, maybe they wouldn't have donated. So maybe this conversation should have took place before you asked for donations. Or you accepted donations. Because I don't know if the French government even asked for donations. But there were a lot of people that were sympathetic with the French plight. Again, people from Romania, a nation that's much more poor than France, and we have our own problems here, like the critics have voiced, have decided to donate money to help the French government rebuild this goddamn thing. And now you're spending the money for other stuff. And it's the hubris at the end of the day. That's what really annoys me. Like, the people in charge, they just don't want to do a good job. No, they want to put their thumb on it. They want to put their fingerprint on it so that people know. Like 100 years from now, when none of this matters, and no one is going to even remember about, the climate crisis or whatnot, because either it's going to be fixed or it's going to be worse. They're going to go into this cathedral and they're going to see, like, things about the environment. Everything's like, what? Oh, yeah, like back then when they took over, they decided to. But, you know, it is very interesting. Like, even the communists back then didn't touch it. I mean, yeah, sure, they turned it into a warehouse, but they didn't try to damage the iconography from it. They didn't try... Well, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious if you guys are happy with the changes, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.